So we're going to fess up to what happened to Peyton's car. Peyton's got it pretty well cleaned up as far as this is a brand new block. It's seized with a lack of engine oil due to a drain plug that decided it would leave the oil pan. So that's what happened to the engine. And what did you say it was going to cost? Like $7,000 for an engine? Was that the complete engine, or was that?
I'm not sure.
Well, he got a quote to fix it, which was probably a drop-in engine, which the value of the car, it exceeds half the value of the car. To do a drop-in engine is $7,000. Yes, of course, then it would command a little more money for the drop-in engine if he was to sell it, but he's not selling it. He likes the car too much, so I advised that he get a short block. The short block, with the shipping and everything, was, what was it, $2,100 in total? $2,100 in total, with the gaskets and the springs for the heads, the valve springs. Valve springs and the spring, what the hell, I guess they would be spring supports, because they're steel on aluminum, so they needed a flat washer. So you saw us do that last night, but today, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start bolting those heads up very gently. He's going to get all, you got the bolts for the heads ready, and basically we'll just put a gasket on. I don't think we need to do anything special. This is the only gasket maker that they have asked that we use, and there were 3 different types that they wanted us to use, but I went down to our local Napa, and they cross-referenced all the sealant, and it all came back to that Permatex gray. So that will do the entire engine, and that is not meant for head gaskets. So we're going to go ahead and drop that on. So come along.
Guys.
Yeah, that works. We could do this. You guys don't see my backside there. Smoke is going to come in here. We're going to have to let the heat out. Alright, where's the socket that you guys use to pull these heads off with? Because I can just use those on my impact.
Hello.
Hey, Carl.
How you doing?
One more. Is this the right side? No, wrong one.
What does it mean?
Beggar. Hey, where's the, where?
So would you have to change the cams if there was a board here?
Nope. If you do, you're going to pay a lot more.
who the hell figured it out?
Oh, Hong Kong Foy.
No, just like the pattern.
Generally you start in the center. If you have 3 or 4 rows of bolts like in the diesels, you start in the center and then you go.
Okay.
So, but when you've got something like this, you always start in the center and work your way out. Head torque. Yeah, they got it. So that's tomorrow's job. Hey Tim, you can shut that off now. We know it works. Kill that now. He's probably sitting in front of him. Yeah. Need help moving that drum?
Yeah.
Where'd he go? Sitting in front of it.
I was testing. It's been running for a half hour.
No, it hasn't.
Yeah, that long.
5 minutes. If that thing's been running for a half an hour, I'm crazy. How long's it been running, Cody? About 10 minutes? Okay, so for the majority of the day, Peyton has been cleaning on his engine. And what you just witnessed was me torquing it in this really weird torque pattern. I guess you didn't need help, did you? The amazing thing about him is if he wants to do something, he's unstoppable. If he didn't want to do it, it'd sit there for 6 years. 6 years.
No, if he doesn't want to do it, he finds a great
years. Anyway, is that asphyxiator done running so I can finish? Okay, the noise has subsided from the asphyxiator, right? Right.
Yes.
Tim's happy because Tim did all the stuff he was told to do today without any problems, didn't you? Yep, and then, what did you do today? Yeah, instead of doing his job, he was fucking around with this motor. See, now this is not kid-friendly. We hate kids here. We don't want kids here. So, YouTube can kiss my kid-friendly ass. All right, it's kids' fault. See, they're just trying to screw up YouTube. Anyway, so the springs are in, obviously, the tappets and stuff. He spent the majority of the day cleaning on the heads. There was a bunch of RTV cement, which Subaru really likes to put a lot of RTV cement in. These guys did not make that mark. This engine has been out of here before. I just got done torquing the head, just like I said earlier. Really weird torque pattern. They want you to go 14.8 foot-pounds, then to 78, right?
74.
74 foot-pounds, 73.8.
Yeah.
14.2, 73.8.
Oh, and you gotta
and then
undo it 100 degrees.
No, undo it 360 degrees, then retorque to 14.8.
14.8.
74. Go ahead, read in the book, I'm sure. Okay, so then you got to retorque it to 14.8 or 14.3.
No, 14.8.
14.8.
Then you do it to 31.
Then you do it to 31. Then you do it 100 degrees on all of them. Then a further 100 degrees on the 2 center ones. And then 50 degrees is what you witnessed me doing on the outer ones in a set pattern. So we did that. Whoever had this engine apart before, if this engine was ever apart from Subaru, in the instruction manual, they asked for a sealant to go on the head gaskets. So I've done this with diesel engines when I've done diesel engines, and I used Permatex copper spray gasket. I did not put it on the aluminum. I put it on the gasket. The gasket itself is steel and aluminum fight, and there was some corrosion, or what would you call that, Cody? Electrolysis? Electrolysis between the heads and the steel gasket, the head and the block on the old one, which you could probably see. Where is this? There was an electrolysis here. Yeah, they did have some kind of a RTV gasket shit there. I don't know what that was for. But anyways, it doesn't matter because we didn't do it. Oh, they asked, this thing has been apart before.
Yeah, because they got it like caked in here.
I think they misunderstood it like you were. It said. Okay, so there was a misunderstanding, but it was not on Peyton's part. It was actually on my part. You're supposed to put, you see where my fingers are moving up and down across that block? There's supposed to be a blob of RTV cement there because Subaru is a little stingy with their head gasket or the type of gasket that they would put in there, and they just felt that RTV cement would be the solution. The valve cover, not the valve cover, the timing chain cover bolts onto that part right there in the, on that engine, and it leaves a gap where the head bolts to the block, and oil will leak out of that block. So, it's no real big deal. Clean it up nice. Put a little bit of a scratchy scratch on the head and the block there, and then schmutz a bunch of RTV sealant into the crack. It will harden and seal it up just fine. Plus, when I put the valve cover on, or the timing chain cover, there is no gasket that goes on there. It is to be schmutzed closed with RTV cement. So I'm not concerned with it. I'm sure Peyton's going to be thinking, oh my God, it's going to leak. But it's not going to leak because the RTV cement that I've purchased is Permatex, and it is what is designed for this engine block. So, we all make mistakes. It's not the end of the world. Don't have to pull the heads off to correct it. And, watch the rest of it. It will run.
After all that, no, it actually is making sense to me now.
Well, we can edit that out.
No. No, I can get that in there. That's no big deal. We'll just seal that up tomorrow. We can do that tomorrow when we put if you put the RTV in there, we just cake it there and in there, and we push it in. That's all. I know why they wanted it there now. Okay.
The gasket doesn't go all the way through there, does it?
It doesn't. No, that's okay though, because we'll RTV it. We'll glue it shut. Mm-hmm. That's what that stuff is for. It's glue, right, Tim? Right, Tim?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Really good glue.
Really good glue, and we'll do it here, and we'll do it here, and we'll get it straightened out. Huh?
Not the kind of glue you eat, but
Well, yeah. Well, you can eat this, Joe. It's just going to make a really hard, difficult bowel movement later in life. Yeah. But anyways, I guess.
Okay, so so I was reading some comments on yesterday's video, which according to Chucky 2009, I really shouldn't be doing, but I do it anyway. I do it anyways because a lot of this stuff doesn't really bother me, but there are a few that kind of concern me. There's a difference between bothered and concerned. Bothered is when I leave the house and I think, that guy really pisses me off. But concerned is when you read it and you're like, you know what, maybe I should answer that question or ask the question. Well, in today's end of the video question is, so the comment was, if you've seen one Only Farmer video, you've seen them all. And I don't find that to be true, but I'm going to ask you. So, do you feel that if you've seen one of my videos, you've seen all of my videos? I don't feel that that's true because there are sometimes the year when I'm putting down fertilizer, sometimes the year when I'm traveling, sometimes of the year when I am making hay, sometimes of the year I'm making straw. This year I made corn fodder and straw. Possibly planting corn. You've seen me plant, you've seen me harvest, you've seen me do all this stuff. A lot of fixing, a lot of fabricating, and things like that. So, you know what? If you feel, and this is for you guys, I feel that if you've seen a One Lonely Farmer video, and the rest are all the same, I would like you to go over to the little button that says unsubscribe. You see, Gobble My Balls has already unsubscribed about 700 people from my channel. It has not affected anything as far as view counts or monetization or any of that stuff, because what they have done is they have purged the channels that are inactive or just don't exist anymore. So there you go. Now, I'm sure they have screwed it up somehow, and maybe some of you have changed the name of your channel and they have unsubbed it by accident. So if you're seeing this, go ahead and resubscribe. If you are someone that feels that my content is shitty, please, there's a little unsubscribe button up at the top. I really want you to unsubscribe
and then go to any other farming channel other than mine and subscribe to them twice, because their content changes every time they put up a video. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and have a nice day.